This is the event that's got Victorians very riled up. 3 removalists from New South Wales bringing COVID, the Delta strain, into Victoria. They held essential worker permits. They worked unmasked at a Maribyrnong, which is inner city Melbourne apartment complex. And that meant the whole of the state ended up in lockdown, that entire complex in quarantine, and all the rest you know. At the time, Victoria's testing commander, Jerome Weimar, warned authorities that they would throw the book at them. Well, not so. In a new development, other than a $200 fine for not wearing a mask, the removalists have walked away scot-free. Victorian Liberal MP, Shadow Minister for Police David Southwick, joins me now from Melbourne. So help me out here, David. They import Delta into the state, shut it all down. They reportedly also failed to cooperate as fully as they should with contact tracers. How do they walk away scot-free? And how on the weekend does 67 protesters get fined for protesting about their liberty?
You've got it in one, Peter. I mean, this just beggars belief that we have those individuals that brought effectively COVID into Victoria, that caused the lockdown that Victorians have had to painstakingly go through. And now to be told that they're walking away scot-free is just absolutely crazy. The Premier himself said that anyone from New South Wales that comes in and does the wrong thing will become very famous. We don't even know who these removalists are. We had Jerome Weimar, as you mentioned, said that the individuals would have the book thrown at them, and they've had a weak lettuce leaf given to them. I mean, literally, this is absolutely crazy stuff. The fact that they gave Victorians the bird on the way out. They didn't cooperate with the authorities that would have helped us with basic contact tracing information that would have helped be able to stop potentially the lockdown and limit the virus spread. And they get away with absolute murder.
So why aren't they named and shamed? Because I've listened to press conferences. The journalists asked the Premier, who are they? Name them. We need more details about the company, etc., the individuals. That's all blocked. And we also know Victoria Police took a long time to sort of start looking into this, didn't they, David?
Yeah, a lot of idle threats. So the Premier said that they would be named and shamed, and there's been none of that. The fact that certainly the buck passing that went on. So it remained from health to police for 13 days. The Minister for Health, Martin Foley, said the matter has now been handed to Victoria Police, and then the Commissioner the following day said we hadn't received it. The buck passing went on for days, only to be told, I think it was yesterday, that police had finally received the complaint from health, and then this morning to say the matter would be closed. And we saw in Echuca a pub that received a $20,000 fine, and the people that attended the pub, cumulative of a $100,000 fine. They didn't have COVID within 100 kilometres of them. They've all been fined, and these characters have got away scot-free. You mentioned about the protesters on the weekend, and the absolute contradictions in this. We have the Premier and others coming out and say, let's dob in a protester, let's have people looking, neighbour after neighbour, and point the finger over someone that's done the wrong thing. And these people that brought the lockdown to fruition, that actually brought COVID to Victoria, have got away without not even anything, a $200 fine to share between the three of them.
Yeah, but we had the same issue last year with Black Lives Matter protesters, sort of a wink and a nod, and away they went. There was, I think, a couple of fines handed out to the organisers, but 80,000 people in a lockdown flooded the streets. We saw heavy-handed behaviour from police over the weekend about the freedom protesters. I'd be concerned. I mean, great support from me for individual police officers, but I'd be concerned. You could well be the police minister after the election about the police hierarchy here.
Well, look, people are fed up with the inconsistencies, and there has been a lot of inconsistencies here. We absolutely think that people should do the right thing. I mean, I've said all along that we shouldn't have protesters during these times, but the Black Lives Matter protest effectively went through without hardly a fine. The organisers got fined, but no one else. And there just is, again, inconsistencies with this. People need to unite. We can't have divisiveness during this time. We shouldn't be having effectively a dob-in a protester situation that we're now having. And to think that these people that cause the lockdowns, cause the COVID spread, to absolutely get a nod and a wink from the Premier is absolutely ridiculous. This is not good enough. If the laws aren't available to be able to hold these people to account, Daniel Andrews needs to change them. And clearly, this is just absolute idle threats that the Premier has made. And it just absolutely is a slap in the face to every single Victorian that has done it really tough during lockdown to think now that the people that actually caused the lockdown have been let off scot-free, and others that are doing the right thing have to pay the consequences.
Got to leave it there. I'll be looking closely in question time in the Parliament that you pursue this issue. I hope you do,
Absolutely,
David Southwick.
we will.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Peter. Good on you.
Thank you for your time.